Once upon a time, at the top of one of the highest mountains on earth, there was a village hidden among the clouds. Giants lived in this village. Each of them was so tall and strong that even the wind had to change direction when it hit them. The village where these giants lived was called Sky Village. Because the village was hidden above the clouds, people were unaware of their existence. Giants rarely descended into the human world and only appeared when help was needed. They were kind-hearted beings with hearts as big as their size. One day, the youngest giant in the village, Aras, heard an interesting story from his grandmother. She told him about a magical flower on the mountain's peak that only bloomed once every 100 years. Whoever touched this flower would be filled with infinite wisdom and love. When Aras heard this story, he got very excited and decided to find the flower and bring it to his village. His grandmother warned him that the journey was full of dangers and required great courage. But thinking of his village and loved ones, Aras set off fearlessly. Aras set off thinking of his village and loved ones and fearlessly began his journey. First, he had to pass through vast glaciers. Cold winds and slippery paths tested his courage. After the glaciers, Aras reached endless forests. The forest was filled with giant trees and mysterious sounds. Aras carefully advanced, trying to find his way. After passing through the forest, Aras reached deep valleys. While walking through the valleys, he noticed that the ground was dangerous and slippery, but he continued on with determination. One day, in a valley, he saw a small bird trapped. The bird was injured and couldn't fly. Aras gently took the bird in his hands and healed it. The bird gratefully chirped and offered to guide him on his journey. With the bird's guidance, Aras traveled faster and safer. The bird showed him the safest and fastest paths, helping him progress more easily. At one point in his journey, Aras encountered a challenging pass. The pass was filled with narrow and steep cliffs. Aras carefully and bravely navigated through the pass. As Aras approached the peak where the magical flower was, his excitement grew. He began to see the magical glow of the flower from a distance as he climbed the mountain. Aras finally reached the peak where the magical flower bloomed. The flower opened with the first rays of the sun. Aras excitedly touched the flower, and immediately a warm light enveloped him. His eyes sparkled, and he felt an indescribable love in his heart. Aras brought the magic of the flower back to his village and shared it with everyone. The giants in the village became even wiser and more loving thanks to this miraculous flower. They vowed to help not only each other, but also all living beings in the world. From that day on, Sky Village was known not only as the Village of Giants, but also as the Village of Hope and Love. Aras's courage and kind heart became an inspiration for the entire village. The giants started to help other creatures, and they became famous for their aid. And thus, at the end of this story, may you remember that there is an Aras within every child, just like